I know. I've spoke about why I'll never buy a leasehold again. And although I still stand by that, I do want to share a different perspective in this video. I do actually think that in some circumstances, buying a leasehold actually does make sense. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the benefits that come with buying a leasehold. Welcome back to Nebi Properties, where every week I post all things property, from educational content to things I learned along the way, to mindset and mistakes I've made so you don't have to make them. So if you're interested in property, whether you're a newbie or a more seasoned investor, then do subscribe to this channel. So before we dive into the benefits of leasehold ownership, let's quickly define what a leasehold is. So a leasehold is a property where you own the actual flat or apartment. However, you don't actually own the building. You don't own the land or ground that it sits on. So usually this means that you'd have to pay for the upkeep of the whole building and also the ground rent as well. Whereas with a freehold, you actually do own the building and the ground that it sits on as well. So these are the main differences between freeholds and leaseholds. And typically freeholds are your terrace houses, your semi-detached houses, and your detached houses. And your leaseholds are typically maisonettes, flats, apartments. And now we've got a definition out of the way, let's get into the benefits of having a leasehold. So first is affordability. So leaseholds generally tend to be cheaper than freeholds. Now this can be extremely beneficial for first-time buyers or people that are on a budget. It means that you can actually purchase a property, whereas you otherwise wouldn't have if you were only looking for freeholds. Now sure, you do have to factor in ground rent, service charge, but the lower price that you have to pay for the property can actually make it worthwhile. So the maintenance is a lot more hassle-free than it would be typically if you had a freehold. So the freeholder of the flats is generally responsible for the upkeep of the building. So they will be responsible for any maintenance that will need to be done outside of the flat. So whether it's the communal areas, whether it's the exterior of the building, the interior of the building, that sits with the freeholder. So if you're generally not someone that's actually good at DIY or generally any type of maintenance work, then this can actually be quite beneficial, because although you'll pay your part towards that service charge, the actual work doesn't need to be instructed or done by you. Now, another key thing is prime location. So a lot of leaseholds are actually in really, really good locations. Locations which are close to train stations, bus stations, places of work, shopping centers. And you can actually find better investment opportunities at times with leaseholds than you would with freeholds. Now, even with the leasehold that I have, it's a 2-minute walk from Gillingham station. So when it comes to rental demand, it is always going to be high. Now, in and around some stations, you don't actually get that many freeholds. So that is something to definitely bear in mind. When you're purchasing an investment property or even a property to live in, you want to make sure that it's in a good location. Another benefit of leaseholds, especially modern leaseholds, is the access to amenities. So a lot of leaseholds that are being built come with gyms, concierges, and communal gardens. So these extras can really enhance your lifestyle. And if you're actually renting it out to tenants, again, that's going to increase rental demand and actually be very attractive to tenants and prospective tenants in the future as well. So if you are someone that actually wants to invest in property for the long term, leaseholds can be a way of starting small and then expanding and buying freeholds later down the line. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because you bought a leasehold now, that is the only type of property that you're going to be buying in the future. If you're able to buy a leasehold, make some decent cash flow and money from it, and then actually potentially use some of that equity to then buy more properties, then actually it could be a great way to then actually start to expand your portfolio after. So that's somewhat what I've done. My first investment property was a leasehold here in Gillingham, and I've then gone on to expand and purchase 4 more flats in Yorkshire, and this is actually under a freehold. So if it wasn't for that leasehold that I purchased initially, then I doubt I would have been able to expand and buy something on a larger scale. So those are some of the benefits of actually purchasing and owning a leasehold. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like. And if you found value from this video or any other video on this channel, then do subscribe as well. And until next time, happy investing.